Hey everyone, what's up? It's Cubs fan Han back again to do a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Top 15 poll. I'm so excited to be showing you the September list, and I will get to that here in just a second. But before I do, I want to give a quick shout out to my buddies over at gaming-fans.com. Go ahead, check them out. They're also on Twitter at gamingfansdfn. And then also for those of you who are interested, I have launched my Patreon account. Go ahead and check that link out down in the description, and it is also at the top of my YouTube channel there. So before I get to this list, a couple quick notes to make. There weren't a whole lot of changes on the list as far as there's not very many new characters coming to the game. We did get a veteran Chewie, and we got veteran Han within the last month. We'll see if they make any impact. Alright, spoiler alert, they didn't make much of an impact at all. I'm just going to tell you right now. But we did also get BB-8. However, BB-8 was not factored into this list when I was compiling the votes. Most people weren't going to have BB-8 yet. We just unlocked him a few days ago for those of us who had our first order ready. So BB-8 is not factored into this list this month. But stay tuned, because in October, I will be absolutely certain to get you a list that includes BB-8. We'll see if he falls into the top 15. I think that you could make a good case for BB-8 in the top 15. Some maybe wouldn't make a case for BB-8 in the top 15. So we'll see what it ends up being come October. But at any rate, let's get right to the top 15 list for the month of September, starting with our others receiving votes. And you'll notice here, taking a look at our others receiving votes, that we had 3 characters fall out of the top 15 from last month. Those characters are Leia, Fulcrum Ahsoka Tano, and Biggs. I think these are all 3 pretty notable, but especially Princess Leia and Fulcrum Ahsoka Tano. When Commander Luke first came out, a lot of us were really high on Leia, especially with the Rebel rework that she received, and Fulcrum seemed to be working really well with Commander Luke as well. But a lot of people seem to be settling into using a meta team that consists of Commander Luke Skywalker, Thrawn, R2-D2, Raid Han, and General Kenobi, and so a lot of people are having a hard time working Leia into that lineup. It seems that Han seems to be the more valuable character at this point. Leia is still a great character to have, but based on the way that the meta is trending right now, it does make sense to me that she has fallen out of our top 15 list. So, moving on to the top 15. Coming in at number 15, we have Jyn Erso, and I'm going to be up front. This one surprised me. Again, this is a poll. This is not my opinion. This is the opinion of a conglomerate of players and leaders in the game. And Jyn Erso, to me, doesn't have as much usability in the game. She's still a solid character, and I think maybe she's making this list because she does seem to have a lot of territory battles viability. Jyn is a very solid character. Again, I think I would probably put Leia above Jyn Erso, but nonetheless, Jyn Erso is coming at number 15. Coming in at number 14 is Kylo Ren, who is a stubborn member of our top 15. He's made all 3 polls in spite of the meta trending against him. So good for you, Kylo Ren. And he was number 14 last month on our list, so that's good to see. Kylo Ren's Zeta ability, Outrage, is still just one of the best Zeta abilities in the game. He gains so much protection and he hits so hard. It's just hard to find a good team to use him in right now, but that could change because we have The Last Jedi coming out. I anticipate that Kylo Ren is going to stay on our list for some time, and maybe even climb on our list, depending on what we have in store for The Last Jedi. Darth Vader comes in at number 13. Darth Vader is another solid character that we love to see in the game. He's one of the most iconic characters. His Zeta ability has definitely fallen in viability. He has no use in territory battles because he's a dark side character. And so I am a bit perplexed that Darth Vader is still showing up on the top 15 list, because there's just a lot less areas to use him in the game. Even in Rancor, a lot of you are going to be using Commander Luke Skywalker to solo the Rancor. But nonetheless, Darth Vader, whoever voted on this poll, all of those players, everyone out there, you're still finding uses for Darth Vader, so my hat is off to you. That's really cool to see. Number 12 is Wedge. And Wedge still just hits so hard. He's probably going to have a lot of viability in territory battles, which is why I think maybe he's making this list. He is still being worked into arena teams, but not as mainstream as he once was. Coming in at number 11, we have Finn, and I know a lot of you are going to be excited to see a Resistance character showing up on our top 15 list. Finn is really solid, and I myself, I've had a chance now to really play around with Resistance. I don't have them on my main account, but I have been able to play around with them on my test account. And that Zeta ability that Finn has packs a really serious punch, and he probably deserves to be higher on the list, and would be higher if some of these meta characters that are really dominating the arena work better with him. But until that point, Finn sitting at number 11 on our list. He wasn't even ranked last month. Alright, breaking down the top 10, starting with number 10.
Next time, just tell me to jump.
Now where's the fun in that?
Coming in at number 10, we have Captain Rex, who is taking a nosedive on our poll. He has just been going down every month. Last month he was number 6, and now he is all the way down to number 10. What is the reason for that? Commander Luke Skywalker. Rex had a strong hold on arena leadership. He was the best leader, bar none, for so long. And now Commander Luke Skywalker is around, is full force the best leader in the game. And Rex, as a result, is sitting at number 10 on our list. He just doesn't have as much usability. Now, some people are still using him, and there's nothing wrong with putting him in your arena teams. He's actually a pretty dang good counter to Rebel teams because he's going to give your team turn meter on all of those critical hits, and those Rebel teams really thrive on critical hits. But Rex falling all the way down to number 10 on our list, and I anticipate he will only fall further in months to come.
Well, Barris, aren't you going to introduce yourself?
Padawan learner, Barris Offie, at your service.
Coming in at number 9, we have Barris Offie. Congratulations, all of you Barris lovers. I am putting Barris on my list, and I actually think she deserves this spot. The more that I fight against Barris, the more I hate her. She's so tough to go against because you just have to plan around her. Some typical strategy tips are going to be to land buff immunity on General Kenobi, crit Barris, and then just go for her to try to take her out of the battle, because then she won't be taking any more critical hits. But that is a tough strategy to wield. The other option pretty much is to annihilate her. You have to plan around Barris Offie. There's no getting around it. You have to plan around her if you are going to win those battles. So every time I make a list, I laugh about it because a lot of you come to me and you say, hey, Barris Offie should have been on this list. What the heck, dude? Well, there you go. She's finally on one of my lists. Congratulations, Barris Offie, coming in at number 9. Very, very deserving of the top 10 spot.
You almost shot me.
You're welcome.
Numbers 7 and 8 are Chirrut and Baze. Baze at number 7 and Chirrut at number 8. This is very just stale in my opinion. Chirrut and Baze have been here forever. They have fallen down slightly on our list, but pretty much every month they've been towards the middle of this list. Last month, they were also ranked number 7 and 8, exactly where they are right now. So Chirrut and Baze, not really a whole lot more to add about them. You guys all know what Chirrut and Baze does. You've been fighting them for a year now. It's really boring. It's one of the most boring combos in the game, but people are still finding a way to use them. I do think it is notable, however, that they are no longer the best combo to be running in the game. With Commander Luke Skywalker and Raid Han and all of those other characters that you guys are running at the top, Chase just simply is no longer the best option in the arena, so that's really solid. But they are going to be still just very, very usable and very capable of, very durable in taking you to the top of your arena shards. So you're still going to see them around. You're still going to have to plan around them, but they are no longer going to be the must-have combo in the game. Coming in at number 6, we have Darth Nihilus. Now, Darth Nihilus has been falling every month in our poll. For our first poll, he was sitting at number 2, and now he is all the way down to number 6. He was 4 last month. Still a very solid, definitely I would say meta-defining character. But a lot of people are subbing in other characters for Darth Nihilus in their arena teams, so his time it does seem to be kind of coming to a close in the arena to a point. But he's still just so solid. He does have the best ability in the game. I mean, it's hard to top just straight up killing somebody no matter what their protection or health is. So all of you are going to be using him. I especially use my Darth Nihilus when I'm going against Barriss Offee. It's just the best way to take her out of battles without worrying about all those critical hits. But a lot of people aren't using them in their arena teams anymore. So very notable on Darth Nihilus.
My dead body.
Climbing from number 10 straight to number 5 is Han Solo, who a lot of people are starting to realize is one of the best characters in the game. I think definitely top 5 and might even deserve higher than 5. His Zeta ability is so strong, and he just crits and crits and crits, and it's always going to be for over 10k when you've got him modded correctly. Sometimes well over 20k on his base or on his special. And then I've also been seeing images of Han Solo when he gets that gear past gear 12, critting for 30 and 40k on his special. He just hits so hard. He hits like a truck, and he hits multiple times when you put that Zeta on him. Han Solo is really good, and of course he's a rebel, so he's going to work great under Commander Luke Skywalker, who's the best leader in the game. So Han Solo, very deserving of the top 5 spot, a must-have for all of your arena teams in my opinion.
But a small pocket of resistance continues to be troublesome.
My Cabo has no armed militia or starfighter corps. What resistance is there to be so troublesome?
Coming in at number 4, we have Grand Admiral Thrawn, a dark side character in the top 5. That's great to see. Thrawn is really a standalone character though. He doesn't need other dark side characters to function well. Fracture is just too strong in the ability, and he's such a fast character as well that you're usually going to be able to have R2 and Thrawn paired together. R2's going to stealth, Thrawn's going to fracture right away. Not necessarily in that order. Maybe Thrawn will go first, maybe R2 will go first. But it's not hard at all to get him upwards, you know, getting upwards of 250 to 280 speed, somewhere in that bracket, depending on what your mods are like. So Thrawn is just really solid. And then, of course, he's got that protection gain, which just sucks, really, to go against if you're making progress on a character. And then Thrawn uses Grand Admiral's command, and that character gains 40% protection, and that can just really hurt your progress. Pair that with Fracture, and Thrawn is one of the best characters in the game. Absolutely deserving of the number 4 spot. He was at number 2 last month, so notable that he has fallen a bit on the list, but not by a lot. Coming in at number 3, we have General Kenobi, who is staying at number 3 from last month. The month before, in July, he was number 1, but that, of course, was before we had Commander Luke coming to the game. Look, General Kenobi, there's no getting around it. He's still the best tank in the game, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. When you have General Kenobi modded right at gear 12, he's going to have between 80 and 90k protection. That is insane. That is a lot of durability. And then he's going to have that mass assist, and when you pair that mass assist with some of the rebel characters that crit for tons, Han Solo is going to hit twice when he does his basic. Commander Luke is going to have a stun chance if he's already hit that character, and he also hits super hard on his basic. All of these characters are just very, very solid when you do General Kenobi's swarm attack. Not to mention he's going to have that cleanse ability and be able to apply retribution to his whole team. So General Kenobi, really stagnant on our list, sticking here at number 3. Probably not going anywhere anytime soon. Coming in at number 2, we have R2-D2, who is climbing up from number 5 to number 2. And I think really the reason for this, if we break it down, R2-D2 probably should have been number 2 last month. Look, he's very solid with Commander Luke Skywalker. His Zeta ability is probably the best Zeta ability in the game in Number Crunch. Combat Analysis is great as well, but Number Crunch really just buffs your team like crazy, and especially when you run him with Rebels, he's going to have a ton of synergy. Plus, if you look to the future of the game, R2-D2 has the Resistance tag, and a lot of people are speculating we could have a Resistance meta incoming, depending on what characters come. BB-8 certainly looks solid. If we can get another couple really meta-defining characters that would run well with BB-8, then I think we would see a Resistance meta, and R2-D2 could easily fit into that meta should we get characters that define it as such.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Coming in at number 1, we have Commander Luke Skywalker. I am sure you are all shocked to see Commander Luke at number 1 on our list, aren't you? No, not at all. I mean, you all knew it was coming. Before I released this list, I'm sure you all knew that Commander Luke was going to be number 1. Now, notable, this go around, Commander Luke wasn't just number 1, he was unanimous number 1. Every single person that gave me a poll put Commander Luke as number 1 on their list. So, Commander Luke Skywalker, there's actually a debate out there that he is too powerful. And I think it's a notable debate and something that I'd like to speak to a little bit, because every once in a while we have a character that comes along that is so OP that a lot of people think, you know, this is a broken character and that kind of thing. And you know what? To be honest, maybe Commander Luke Skywalker's broken, maybe he isn't. But I think he was intended to be the most powerful character in the game because of who he is in the Star Wars universe. He is one of the most iconic characters in the whole canon. We've waited 2 years for Luke with the lightsaber, and the wait paid off for those who got him. Now, I understand for those of you who didn't get Commander Luke, it sucks, and I really hope he comes back soon so that you can get him. But me personally, I do not have a problem with how strong he is. That's easy for me to say because I have him, so you can tell me that my opinion doesn't matter. But just because of who he is in the canon, I think it makes sense that Commander Luke is going to be the most powerful character in the game, until we get maybe Jedi Luke, which I really hope happens at some point, and I hope that you guys are ready for it. So, taking a look at our list as a whole, what do you think about the list? Who do you think was snuffed from the list? I can think of a few that I think got snuffed. I already mentioned that I feel like Leia should have been higher and that Jyn Erso didn't quite deserve a spot on the list. I'm not so sure if Darth Vader deserves a spot on the list. That's just my opinion. What is your opinion? Let me know in the comments below. Let's debate it. Let's talk about it. But whatever the case is, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please, of course, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't ever forget.
For my dead body. Sorry about the mess.